Hello everyone, welcome to the Northern Tarot. My name is Andy. Today I will do the reading for the week from the 12th to the 18th of June 2023. This is your general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so this is gonna be quite interesting week because we're gonna have the new moon in Gemini right on the last day of the week, which is on the 18th of June. So we know that the full moon was in Sagittarius on the 3rd and the 4th of May. And now we're going to have the new moon in Gemini with the same qualities of time and space, which indicates that things need to go in alignment with the new purposes, or you can call it the higher self purposes. The whole week, the moon gonna go through all the planets one by one. Chiron, Jupiter's, Uranus, Mercury, until the moon in the positions of, aligning with the sun and show the new moon. But this new moon energy is gonna be blocked by the sun. So unlike other new moon, you wouldn't feel that life, fresh energies, but actually opposite. You feel the flame, the actions, the outgoing energy, because the sun gonna manipulate this type of effect. The moon, the new moon, is actually in square positions with Pisces. So Pisces is about vision. So because it's square energy, so the vision's gonna be blocked. So there will be some sort of triggering event to trick you. That's why we need to understand how this matrix works, to trick you into some sort of spontaneous decisions, to show or also to test if you have learned or understood about yourself well enough. The whole week, when the moon passed all these planets, for example, when the moon passed Chiron, it will allow you to look within yourself about the wounds or any traumas that you're still holding, or any weaknesses that you need to overcome, to show you that if you need something that you need to work on deep down somewhere in your shadow, because you always have the shadow. Doesn't matter if you able to detect and clear it. It's the same with the egos. When you know all the egos about your program, the ego always stay there, and we call them ego death. So this is like shadow death, but it's always there. But through the triggered event, these things will come out. It's just the matter of how well you train yourself to know how to manipulate and keep those attributes into the level of safety level, control level. So that's all it's about. Now, this is the week about the positivities that the moon brings about. So you will reflect yourself through the patterns of why things in the past or the negative things in the past happens, but with ease. So you don't feel like you have to be miserable thinking about it. You don't have to feel stressed or shameful thinking about anything, because now you start to understand that it's time to embrace all the attributes of yourself, because you need all of it to make the presence of who you become or want to become or aim to become. If you see what I mean, because we're still in the matrix. So we still have to function and play along with the way it's designed. So, in other words, the most practical way to play through this type of energies or the formations of the new energy is by understanding more and deeper about your soul contract and your higher self purposes. Because the final goal of whatever that going on doesn't matter it's bad or good. The final goal is still to utilize this life to create that quantum leap of your soul expansions to assist the matrix, because you don't want to come back and repeat all these things again and just keep learning and learning, because when you're gonna exist, because the final goal is to exist. So for that reason, I've got this course of aligning with your higher self, and it's already started. I even taught my teacher from the uni about this skill, and he's really loved what we're doing here. And so if you interested in the course, please find the information in the description box. Back to the energies that we're talking about next week. Now, because the moon, the new moon being blocked with the visions by the square energies with Neptune and the sun, so you will be spontaneous. Please look back your life and think about all the time you were spontaneous, because this is actually the triggering, how I say that it's the main triggers to Sagittarius matrix program, because you are using this program of Sagittarius, because the sign actually spontaneous itself, especially when you're feeling good. You tend to act spontaneously without thinking about consequences or the potentials of the risk of the decision making. So this week is about that challenge. Especially Venus and Mars in Leo, it stimulates each other, and it stimulates the human beings being really high, fluffy and romantic. So there's a lot to do with something about, people will see your weakness right there and ask for something, and you might slip off your tongues and agree with it, and then you will regret. So it's a good information that you need to know about next week. But the good things about this is you will find a way back and take back that words, because you're being tricked. You only stay to your words when you meant it, or when people ask for it genuinely. Now, if you see, that's why you always manage to escape, sorry guys, or get out of the situations, even that they try to trap you in all the four corners because of that. But if you're aware of that, that's actually not the good things to have. You will stay away from that type of practices, because that is the passive way of solving the matrix and learning about yourself. It's very dependent on events. You will have to wait for that event to happen again to trigger you out, if you understand what I mean. So that's why studying matrix is very important. And also it helps you to raising your awareness in no time, so you can get out of this matrix after you died. Now, another thing I want to talk about this is, because I've been thinking, if we know about, okay, so the moon with the positive vibes going through, checking all the attributes, the aspect of yourself, ask you to acknowledge about the ugly and the pretty. And then the new moon in Gemini is about learn how to put all the things to to harmonize with each other. So you allow yourself, the whole self, everything of you, to coexist in harmony. That's it. The Gemini is about the multi-fates, but they are like one whole intelligent entity symbol. Now, to allow this to happen, we need to understand about ourselves. And you think you understand about yourself, but you don't, because you only understand about yourself when you understand two things. First of all, your soul contract, and secondly, you understand about your higher self purposes. So each period of your evolutions in your soul journey of one life, because it's different life, but we're talking about a small aspect here, this life, you will have to go through 7 stages of your life, from 7 to 14, 14 to 20, from 0 to 7, 7 to 14, and 14 to 21. That's the 3 stages of a kid, not an adult yet. From 21 up, you start to step into the adulthood, and there's another 4 stages of going through the isolations, the awakening, the enlightenment, and aligning with your higher self. And to me, aligning with your higher self purpose is the highest purpose, because any soul, they only align with their higher self once. So it depends on which life they manage to do it. So it doesn't work like every life you come back and then you train yourself and then you align with your higher self. No, it doesn't work like that. You only align once, because after that you exit the matrix. If you want to come back, it's a free choice. You don't have to learn. You don't need a program to learn. Maybe you just need a program to teach. For example, like what I'm doing. So this is great advantage if you really understand the natures of what I'm training people, and join me. That will be very, very good for actually the whole process of what people going through, because it's not just about this life. It allows you to go to even another galaxies or planet after this and experience a new thing, because you're not stuck in this matrix anymore. Now, the soul contract is important. The soul contract working very similar. Not each life you come back with a different soul contract. You have the contract every life. But if you already overcome something, learned about it, it will be crossed out. It's like a list of everything that people need to learn to become the masters. So the contract actually is similar for everyone. That's why we have the patterns of the collective similar. However, the difference depends on how much karmic you caused based on your stupidity in the past lives, and then it takes you longer to pay it and to learn the new things. But that is individual thing, right? So we don't need to care about it. But because the earth stepping into the 14,000 years of light from now on, it allows all the hidden knowledge to be unblocked. And as long as you have this knowledge in the light now, you're totally able to make the exist. There's no excuse. And there's no rules about why people cannot do it. It's all down to how you understand this and determine to make it. So the soul contract will tell you what exactly you need to fix right now. So first of all, you can be happy with your situations and new life. Secondly, it allows you to then step to the new level, that is learning how to align with your higher self. Because you cannot get aligned with your higher self until you pass your challenge. Until the trinity's factors, mind, soul, body, represent the consciousness, time and space. Those 3 factors need to be aligned, or else you will never able to get aligned with your higher self. and you cannot align with your higher self purposes either. So the soul contract, how we know it, is mainly about these things: love, security, stagger, validations, and recognitions. It's mainly about these things. So please think about that. What is that? Think about yourself. What is that you're craving for? And why it's so difficult? For example, the majority wants love and couldn't get that love. Now that is exactly your soul contract, what you need to learn. Up until you understand that there's no such love for you to look, because you are already the full versions of love already, and no one else can love you more than yourself and God. If you see what I mean. If you can understand that, you will never say a thing like to me like, Andy, I want a man who understands me, blah, blah, blah. No. And then you find love in this sense, right? If you understand about your soul contract, this is what you need to overcome. You learn how to be sufficient with yourself and happy with your own existence, because you know your purposes and your contract now. And then you're happy with that. You will meet the people who also learn about the same thing and manage to understand it. And then the two people can make a pair of having fun and creating new experiences. Isn't that the best things to happen? So it's the same with other the attributes, even the validation, recognition. That's why a lot of people want to become a famous singers and all this. It's all about their soul contract, so that they need to do it. Okay guys, so that is a bit long introductions today, but I hope that it useful information for all of you. But now we can go to the cards and we will see what spirits have for us. Okay, so as usual, we will go to the oracle first, and we will see what we have for the week from the 12th to the 18th of June 2023. If you would like to learn more about the information of the course, how to align with your higher self, please check out the information in the description box. And if you would like to donate, please find the donate button in the description box too. So week from the 12th to the 18th, Decode Astral Oracles. Let's see what we have. The first one, we have number 10, Capricorn again. So, I'm not surprised, because things start to running to the way it's supposed to go. About new foundations, new materials, new ways of living. It's a sense of you in the new cycle for a while now. It just takes some time for the material world to transist or transform itself, and it will base on your energy. That's why we keep talking about how to raise our vibrations and learn how to reflect the world through your perspective. It's very important, because it's a totally new way of learning and creating. It's allowing you to be freed and enjoying life the way that you always wanted. And that is all the Sagittarius about. If you really look at it at the way of the matrix works, and Sagittarius is actually a program. So we have 12 programs, right? And the combinations of the chart, the birth chart, it creates hundreds and hundreds different types of matrix programs. But the main ideas of the Sagittarius program is by tackling life without depending on materialism. That's the idea. And the compensations of that is you will have the spirituality to create that superpower, the magic, like a magicians in tarot. So if we can look at things that way, we will stop mourning and craving for the thing that's not belonging to your ability. Because a lot of people trying to live the normal life like other people and making money the same way with other people, but they just, because it's not your program, so what's the point? Why don't you focus on what meant for you? Because this program is much more powerful if anyone can live a long age enough of the soul. I'm talking about the soul, right? The old soul tend to choose Sagittarius, and the young soul tend to choose Capricorn or Earth signs, because the young ones still want to enjoy the luxuries, the abundance and things like that. They don't care about the Axis matrix because they still don't understand this is the game. But once they recognize that they actually trapped in the loop of incarnations, they will choose Sagittarius like you. So right now, when you choose it, that means that you understand it already. So it's time to change. It's time to change your knowledge system. Keeping what you want to keep when it comes to the earthly knowledge, but the rest of the earthly knowledge, if you find it's redundant, it's time to remove it. You don't need it. You need the knowledge to help you to get out of here. So the Star-Six Oracles, we have loosen your grip, coping mechanism, destiny, addiction, let God in. Now I don't understand why, because these two cards keep coming out. So it must be the collective still struggle with their life. And it's mainly because you are stuck with your mind. And maybe that's why the introductions video today was a bit long, because I felt like this is a message that spirits want me to give to you. So if you in any situations you feel you struggle, you feel you trapped, you feel you unfortunate, then please rewind the introduction video and listen, because it gives you all the answer already. Okay, so don't get stuck, don't feel stuck. Think about the program, think about your soul contract. And it's all about understanding. Once you understand, you stop thinking the old way, things will come to you. And when you start to see things come to you just by changing the way you think, you will know that I am right, because this is the machine. The matrix is mechanisms. All you need to do is to do what it asks, and it will send you things. Like the lottery, for example. Can you believe it? So don't think about how you get it done. Think about the method of changing the patterns, and understand that the details will be done itself. If you remember that, you get through everything. So love relationship, we have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feeling with each other. It sounds interesting. Now, remember I was talking about the 18th, the new moon, in square energies with Neptune. If the conversations happen on that day, which is Sunday, the last day, Make sure you don't regret about what you agree or accept with people. It might be, the funny thing is, it always leads you to somewhere. But the question is, will it be the direct path or the detour path? So which path you want? You want a direct path or you want a detour path? That's your choice. So now, let's see the tarot, the week from the 12th to the 18th. General energy, you have Queen of Cups, challenge, Three of Swords. There you go. I already see it. There you go. I already told you that with the introduction, right? So you have Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. Here, your mentality. You want to come back. Silly, silly, silly people. And I was about to put it here, but it's fine. It's meant to happen. We just have to, I changed a lot of the way I view life nowadays since this type of work. And working with you actually gave me great opportunities to remember things. So I recall what I've done all of this before and how I passed my knowledge to people, and I did exactly the same thing, and I'm still doing it. So if anything happens, doesn't matter it's coincidences or not, we just need to understand that it's meant, because nothing actually random. The only random is your emotion, because the only thing that can be triggered randomly is your emotion. And this is exactly how the matrix is designed to allow people to learn, or make people to learn. So when we start to kind of put all these things into perspective, you will become the masters within a life, because it's all down to knowledge, how to take it in, how to process, analyze, make it into your own insight. The purpose of the expansion of the soul is actually about the ranking, because up there in the spiritual realm, it's all about the ranking. So the higher knowledge, the more knowledgeable soul you are, the higher ranking you are. So it's all about the rank, and it's kind of interesting system. Okay, now we go and clarify this. Before we clarify, let me decode this a little bit. So the energies, you have the Queen of Cups. Now confusion. I don't know why I see confusion. You're not sure if you want to give this love or not, or do you want to engage, emotionally speaking. It doesn't need to be love, right? Because the challenge is the Three of Swords, because something really bad happened before, or something not pretty happened before. Now your higher self wants you to know that be careful, because this is, you are repeating the patterns about your one of the shadow attribute that you have, and because you don't recognize it was a shadow. You know what it is? The naivety. So when you're naive, you tend to allow yourself to be that way because you think it's cool. I will explain that when we come to the Seven of Swords. Now, in your mentalities, you knew for the fact that it's not going anywhere. It's not a good idea. But for some reason, you actually, consider it. Your environment say no. Your spirit guide, your intuitions, and say no. But the outcome energy is very good, temperance. So it's like the feeling good week for people. You you find your own skin, you got that joyful, playful energies back to yourself, but you still being emotionally triggered. That's what Spirit wants to say. So let's clarify this and we'll see. This is interesting because, I was thinking about the reading I did yesterday for the weekend. It might be the same situation for people. So the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So you kind of feeling that, so like you're moving to the new place, for example, or you split from a partner and now you have your own space, or at least you have your own room or something like that, or you go hire a new place for yourself, even temporary, but it's like you're in somewhere with your own space and you start to see things working the way that you always think, and you realize that, hang on, like this is what I was thinking, or this is what I was seeing before, it's happening now. So it's like the moment that the wake, this type of energy. So you recognize about something you always did, but you never kind of like embrace it. And that is actually the power of the thought. So you start to learn how to go and respect your own wish and thought more about the things that you desire. So that is the energy is going on. But because you're feeling like things start to emerging for you the way you want, and you will get greedy, you want something else, or like like other companionship or something like that. So this is exactly why the Matrix know how to trigger people. Because the Matrix say, all right, okay, so I'm gonna give you the things that you want, but I'm not gonna give you the thing to fill the space, to see how you handle this, if you can see the pattern here. And this pattern actually created by yourself, not by the Matrix. The Matrix only detect the patterns and send in anything that trigger the patterns, if you understand what I'm talking about. So basically the Matrix is not thinking. It's only respond to the signal you send out. So because you start to feel like you're getting out of the mess, emerging from the ashes, for example. So you will start to want to kind of like fill up the spaces, the empty spaces. So that is the patterns. So make sure that you understand of your situations. Focus on what you need to focus on, and leaving whatever that you believe that you wanted it. That is your soul contract, what you need to overcome. So now if you understand, oh, that is, for example, love. So that is because I never accepted to learn what love is about. That's why I never got it, or never got the right person. If you understand that's your soul contract now, you don't focus on it, because when you focus on it, you create that patterns, and that patterns will be triggered by the universe to send in all the temptations and the detour path things. Okay, so now I have the death card here, so let's put to the challenge. So why the death here? So the challenge is the Three of Swords and death. Okay, so you're feeling like it's been healing, it's been a while now, so it's things being changed. So that's exactly the pattern. Now, if you, so basically, if you want to overcome the soul contract of love, finding love, understanding love, learning about love. It's mainly the lessons around it about codependency or controlling issue. So why you think because it changed now, so it may be okay to go back? Because that card here is about transformations of the wounds. It's like the healing of the wounds, if you understand what I'm talking about. Because the main purpose of learning is recognize the codependencies that you have, create that patterns. That's why they send the people of that type. So the purpose is it's not about you learning it and then you go back and giving a second chance. It doesn't work like that, if you see what I mean. Because it's all about keep learning new experiences. So you don't go back to the wound, fix it, heal it, and then say this is a new experience. Because it's not going to be a new experience. Because that new experience is only valid when it serves something that triggered for what you need to learn. If you think about that. But if it's not serving the purpose of what you need to learn or to share, it's no longer, valid. It doesn't have a meaning of it. So that's why there's a Two of Swords here saying, be careful, especially when Neptune's being blocked, squared, without vision. Okay, now let's go with Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. Okay, so Seven of Swords is clarified by the Five of Wands. Yep. The confusions of what people going through, that what I can see here is actually has a deeper meaning. This is about both people not manage to understand and see through things. Of course, if you hear with me, then you will understand the situation because I try to explain. But imagine the people in the same situation and they don't have this knowledge provided. They will get together and there will go a trigger event of, fighting, and it's the spiritual conflict. It's created a conflict here because obviously that people don't the patterns. I'm talking about people in general, not you guys. People in general, they tend to not learn, especially when it comes to soul contract. They will learn whatever that they learn, but when it comes to the soul contract, they will never learn. It's amazing how it works. But that's why it's created as a contract, right? The nature of this is the people have too many kind of like karmic the karmic shadows of all the lives that they went through, and they couldn't manage to get out of that. And whoever that is, if you deal with anyone fixed side, so fixed sign we have Scorpion, we have Aquarius, and we have Taurus, I believe. So the fixed sign, any fixed sign, they're gonna be very, very, how I say, they refuse to change. But then again, they play up in a way that I changed. And the conflict's right there. So your higher self, give you the warning that if you go to that path, there will be some disaster. because spirits will have to interfere and arrange some sort of triggering event to split people so you can go to your right path. So the Seven of Pentacles, let's see what we have. But in your mind, right, so because the Seven of Pentacles is your mentality, you already kind of knew it. You knew that you will have to go alone. With the Six of Swords, don't look back. Don't get confused. You only get confused when you don't understand the natures of life, actually, of the matrix. But once you understand, you will see. So your spirit says the same thing, that I see. Just continue with the path that being chosen for you and designed for you, that don't share it, because I have the feeling that someone here seeing your potential and see the light shining on your path. That's why they really want to be part of it. They want to leech the light. They want to leech the light. So let's see the Temperance. The outcome, Temperance, the outcome energies. So it's I can see some challenge here. The outcome energy, the Six of Cups. There you go. Now, guys, here, right, the Six of Cups. You know that you need to move along. Your spirits also advise you about the future, but for some reason you gonna go back to someone here with the Six of Cups. As I say, without my reading, a lot of people gonna go back. But if you watch my video today, you won't, because you understand what triggered it. It's the moon with Pluto square in the new moon. So, well, what can I say? But the thing is, you might get together. Right? This is not about going back, but you might get together to have a conversation. Now, if you get together, then your job is to be honest to yourself. And you can only be honest to yourself when you acknowledge about your shadow. That's why the introduction video is very important for this reading today. You should watch again the introduction video, because it gives you all the answers how to deal with this situation. Anyway, guys, so this is all I've got for you. I'm so glad that this message came out. If you like what I'm doing, please like, share the video and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to donate, please find the donate button in the description box. Thank you and bye-bye.